She was just 12 when, on a school trip, she became a victim of hit and run, changing her life forever. In the last 7 years, Rayna Arya had to relearn how to talk again, walk again, and laugh again while going through many treatments from USA and Israel. At 19, Rayna is truly inspirational. She did not let the tragedy dictate her life. Instead, she carved her own path. With the help of her family, she continues to do so. Her first book, because she's coming out with second, Hope Exists, is a lesson in resilience, courage, and faith. So join me to welcome truly brave Rayna and her equally inspirational mother, Sonica. Hello, girls.
Hi.
Hi, Suman. Pleasure to be here.
Same here. I'm feeling highly privileged. So my question to you, Rayna, is that at 12, you went through this life-altering accident. When did you first realize what had happened?
When I woke up,
And that was for after how many months?
5 months after the accident.
5 months. My God, that's a long time.
I was in coma.
Coma for 5 months. My God. What were your first thoughts when you realized life would never be the same again for you?
Oh God, what do I do now?
Yeah.
And someone saved me from this horrible nightmare.
Yeah.
My life has been a nightmare for 7 odd years.
I can imagine.
And I just wanted someone to save me from it.
You have the whole family saving you from that now. So many people stood by your side, right?
Yeah.
Great. So, how did you bring yourself out of the anger and sadness which you must have felt?
To be honest, I still haven't someone. I'm still very angry and upset about my situation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot has happened to you. I understand.
But what are the things that, Raina, you resorted to at that point?
Music, art, and literature.
Really? Wow. So, you dived into music. So, what instruments?
I was always a musician, but I took it seriously after my accident. The piano.
Oh, yeah.
I
You play piano. Wow.
and I paint and I write.
That's so nice. I mean, that's so courageous, sweetie.
Thank you,
Amazing.
thank you.
Okay. So, what lesson did you learn in the last 7 years since the accident? Like, what did you realize?
Don't let anything stop you.
Wow.
You're capable of everything.
That's so inspiring.
Thank you,
Really?
thank you. So my tattoo was my 18th birthday gift.
Really? Yeah. What does it say?
Never give up.
Can I see it? Wow. This is such an inspirational quote. Superb. Hmm? So you only decided about this tattoo that you want this to be written.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I went along with her
Mhm.
and I was more scared of her than the needle. She sat there bravely and she said, "This is what I believe in and this is
Yeah.
what I want."
Never give up.
Yeah, never give up.
Too powerful.
Yes.
Really.
For her, for all of us, that has been the motto.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Raina, what steps did you take to improve your mental and physical health besides the surgeries?
I started concentrating on my music and art
Wow.
properly, and then I wrote a lot because I had conversations with God.
Yeah.
I wrote about them.
Yeah. In your book?
Yeah.
Hope Exists, right? Wow.
Yeah.
I would really love to read it, and you have to sign that book for me. And I'll give you my honest feedback. Great. And you did music. So you are piano, right? Okay, lovely. And you studied also? You are still going to school and college?
She's
Yeah.
in high school in the 12th standard at the Bombay International now.
Okay.
And But there was also a lot of counseling which was needed at that point to deal with the feelings of hopelessness, sadness, a lot of that. So I think that and cognitive therapy that we did in Israel, without that, it is, I think, very difficult to come out of something which is so severe.
Yes.
And we understood that. And I think, thank God, we knew the path was shown to us, and Rayna could avail of it.
Yeah.
And all of that put together helped her, I think, vent out a lot of the emotions.
Yes.
Her art, her canvases are all a reflection of her emotions.
Oh, how many painting has she done till now?
Oh, I think now it must be close to 100. She's
Rayna?
had 3 exhibitions.
3 exhibitions?
Yeah, over the last 3 years.
Next time I want to own one of your paintings. 2,
Please
besides your
come.
book.
Please come.
I will definitely come. You have to send me
Of course,
the invitation.
of course.
So great. So see, life did not stop.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So how did you start painting? Tell us bit about your exhibitions which you have held.
I have always loved art
Yes.
because it has been my sense of speech and a way to express myself after my accident.
Even the cover of the book is her painting.
Oh.
All the illustrations in the book are only the works that she has done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all has been illustrated in the book.
Yes.
And now you have a book which is named Hope Exists. Just the title itself is so powerful.
Yes.
Which completely aligns with this campaign. Tell us a bit about how it came about and the purpose behind it.
I guess it came about when I realized I wanted to fight on.
Fight on. And you wanted to convey your feelings. Okay. Wow.
And I wanted to send the message of love to everyone.
Yeah. At such a young age, you have such thoughts, Rayna.
I'm too much for my age.
Wow. Your advice to other young girls going through similar tragedies, what would you like to tell them?
Never give up.
Never give up.
Your time will come. Just be patient.
Superb. Now we say these things at this age. Great. Very good. So now I have some questions for you, Sonica.
Sure.
You never gave up on her, even when it looked like all hope was lost. What gave you that strength as a mother?
I think no mother can ever give up.
That is true.
Yeah. So I think a mother is the only person I know in this world who will fight against all odds. And till the last minute, one has hope that, something will turn around, something will work. I had a lot of faith in the Almighty, and I felt even if something, like this happens in your life, something absolutely which you can't imagine, you have to keep going, you have to keep trying till something will turn around. I always had that faith. And it took time. It took us 5 months of coma, 1 year of not speaking, 3 years of not walking. So it was a long journey, but today she's with us. And she's good, and she is doing
Pretty
so
bright
many
young
things.
thing.
Yes. And troubling us like a typical teenager. So I think, I don't think we could have ever imagined life without her. So there was no way we could have given
So you
up.
fought on, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
Really brave.
Yeah.
What are the lessons you learned over the last 7 years?
First thing was, of course, my work took a backseat. I wanted to devote my time to my family, nurture even my other child who was seeing such a big tragedy unravel in front of her. So I think it changed us completely. My husband and I were centered around our children. There was no stone we left unturned
yeah.
for her, whether it was going to Boston, whether it was going to the US, to UK, Israel, wherever we heard something that could help her. And I think everything, bore fruit. If somewhere something worked for us. And in all this, the biggest thing I learned was a lot of help came from quarters where I never expected.
Yeah.
Yes. There were strangers, there were people who were right to us, there was We used to write to people we didn't know and they would invite us, why not come over and let's see what we can do for you. So the universe works in a certain synchronicity, and there is a lot of goodness in this world which we don't focus on. We only, speak and publish about every kind of horror in this world. But I think the humanity is so alive in most people. In people, you approach anybody for help. We saw the way people came forth.
Yeah.
Because this was a area in Bombay and in India which was not very explored, which is the brain injury,
Yeah.
traumatic brain injury. And we didn't even have a rehab in India, in Bombay, except for the Kokila Ben. The Reliance Hospital came about much later.
Yeah. Kokila Ben
Das.
is the only one.
Yeah. So for us to actually find a place where, it would be pediatric, the work for her, we went to the Spalding Institute in Boston. The Boston bombings happened at that time, the marathon bombings.
Oh, you were there?
We reached right after that. And we saw little girls who were injured, little children who were injured, who were just bystanders in the marathon, and what those families went through. And in America, you have only insurance for 3 weeks. So those people had to rehabilitate and, go back home within 3 weeks. And here we were, for years and years going through this kind of a rehab. And sometimes you realize, how blessed you are.
Privileged we are.
Yeah. So that too, it's not just about, so the Western world can also be very harsh in its own ways because, the help is limited. Both parents are working. You need that, finances coming in and things like that. So with our family structures, her grandparents were standing by us. They were just taking care of my other child whilst I was traveling.
Oh.
Yes. Leaving
so the whole family stood together.
Absolutely. So the whole family changed. I think our whole motto was what she says, we will not give up. We want Rayna back at any cost.
Really?
And we won't give up.
I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah. So it was something I think we all took an oath for. And she never gave up.
Yeah.
And she was our inspiration because she fought on. There was never a single day she said, I won't go to therapy. Whether she was in a wheelchair, she went to school for 3 years like that. She learned to walk again. She learned to, she would get into the pool. I used to put her, again, how as a newborn, you put your floats on again.
Yeah.
And she learned to swim. How much
everything they have to relearn. Even the eating
music,
they have to relearn.
Everything.
Yeah.
Went back to the piano, went back to painting, went back to writing. So I learned in life that, we crib about such petty things. And my daughter's entire teenage was spent relearning what she knew for the first 12 years of her life. So there was no reason we could give up when she wasn't giving up.
I know.
Yeah.
That's really brave of her. Doctors or family can't do anything until the person herself wants to do it.
Absolutely.
It's all because of her internal courage and strength.
Absolutely.
She has.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. We also realize that how important empathy is in life. To include people who may be a little different from you, who have challenges, because we saw how it felt on the other side of the fence. And I reach out to people who are going through something in life, who need that little help, who need that little kindness.
Encouragement. Faith.
Yes. So I think that was one thing, we all feel we do a little bit of charity or we donate somewhere and it's done. It goes beyond that. It's a human connection. And that is what I encourage my children, and I see my children do it. Rayna is very humane. She works with animals. She works with children she works with the vet, and she works with underprivileged children through her school with the CAS movement. And she, in fact, all the proceeds of her book go towards Seva Sadan, which is a place which underprivileged girls work and stay at.
That's really good.
Yeah. So I think that's a big lesson we've learned. And which, only one thing, I think when you go through something where it completely shakes up your inside and you feel,
and your full being, that what we are, where are we going, everything you question.
Yes. So I think also any kind of superficiality has gone away from our life. Any kind of pettiness we would not like to indulge in. We encourage the children also not to, because you have to always see the larger picture. And I think that's what. So small things have stopped mattering. And it's something I'm very privileged. These are the good things we've learned through this.
So Sonica, my next question is, What helped you through this period mentally and emotionally?
So, Suman, I think mentally and emotionally and spiritually, I would add that. For me, my faith was supported by a lot of studies with the Vedanta.
Oh,
Yes, I'm part of the Chinmaya mission. I do a lot of devotion through ISKCON. So it taught me a lot about that, all our lives paths are different. No two lives are similar. And sometimes some people face something which is more challenging. You never know, it could be for a greater good. Because my husband and I took this up very seriously in terms of a life's mission, helping anybody with any kind of neurological issues, any kind of brain injury. Because what we learned in Israel, we have brought it down to India now.
really?
Yes.
Oh,
So we are sharing
that
it.
same
Yeah, the same
technology and the
therapy from the
therapy.
Feuerstein Institute in Jerusalem. It was started for the children of the Holocaust after the
Oh,
World War, for the Jewish children who suffered a lot of trauma. And it had a small presence in India with people who went there and trained. But we started bringing the trainers down. They trained a lot of other therapists here. It's being used for children with any kind of learning disability. So all of that gets supported by this therapy.
wow, that's really a noble thing which your family is doing.
No, because I felt, if not everybody can reach there, but why should you suffer just because you don't know there's a therapy that can help you? And this kind of a therapy can change the kind of life you lead. So you should not be, I think, suffering because the right therapy didn't reach you.
Yes.
So I think that is something which we both felt. Since we've got to know about it, since it helped our daughter, we wanted to bring it down.
Wow. And your
Advantage of
husband?
it. My husband, I would say, is the best father Raina could ever dream of.
Yeah.
Her face lights up when she talks about it.
Yeah.
He has been a rock through it all. Every mother, I think, would do what I did. It's expected of every mother. But for a father, he has played a role, I think, which it's something which I look up to, because he held the whole thing together. I mean, I was emotionally breaking down. I got my resort and my respite in praying. And, he would deal with the whole medical facts, talking to doctors at Harvard, talking to doctors in New York at the Rusk Institute or in Israel. He would put the facts together. He decided, I'm not going to give up. If there is no path ahead, I will find the path ahead for Raina.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
He has pushed her wheelchair up the hills in Jerusalem, down the streets of Manhattan. That man is something. He said there's nothing Raina should not be doing. She went back on her horse in Mathura and he would tie up her legs and said, you will ride again.
Really?
And she's riding again thanks to her father.
I can ride without my legs being tied.
Really? Now
So
you
that's
wow.
what it took. He used to be in the pool encouraging her, come on, swim. So that kind of strength he's shown, that kind of resilience he's shown. And it was his decision completely that, I want to do this as my life's offering against what we have learned in bringing these therapies down to India. And he keeps researching. I think he's become a doctor himself, the amount of research he does. To the extent, Suman, that in Bombay, anybody who goes through a coma or any kind of brain injury, most of the doctors, connect those families to Gaurav and he helps them.
Oh, so his name is Gaurav.
Yeah.
I just
Gaurav.
wanted to know.
Yeah, Gaurav. And they connect them to him. So he helps them, decide where to go,
Which
what
path
to do.
and what, wow.
And he connects them to the hospitals, to the right doctors. I help out speaking to the family emotionally and going to the hospital, because we know what it is. We've gone through it.
Yeah, you've gone through it.
That's life.
Yeah, that's life.
Yeah.
So your advice to other parents whose children have undergone life-threatening tragedies, what would you like to?
I know it's very tough, parents. It's very, very tough when you see a child go through it. And but I just feel that you are the child's biggest support. If not you, then who will the child depend upon? So learn to delegate, learn to get good helpers, good caregivers.
Yeah.
Your family
And
is, of
continue,
course.
yeah.
And nourish yourself as much as you can.
Very great message.
And as a family, I think quality time with each other, counting up blessings, just having my daughter back with me. And then you realize, you don't take anything for granted. I have a lot of gratitude for all the good things in life, for all the blessings that we have, for all the good times that we have with each other. I know the first holiday we took after all these therapies was after 3 years. We took her to London and we did everything that we had done prior to the accident. And I looked up and I said, thank you, God.
Thank
We are four of us together on a holiday after 3 years. So those are the things you take for granted. And those are the things then you realize are actually so precious. And they mean so much more to you now.
Don't cry.
I'm not. It's just that you realize that,
Yeah.
life is
Precious.
precious, very precious.
It was amazing talking to both you girls, and I think we take a lot from this conversation. And I must tell you that Rayna has said such beautiful and such encouraging statements like never give up, life goes on, live life. Okay. And from you, we have learned that parents should never give up. Okay. Never take anything for granted. God has given in many ways. There are many wonderful souls and people who are ready to
Yes.
help you without expecting anything in return.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So there is so much of humanity and humaneness in everyone. So thank you, girls.
Most welcome.
And thank you, all of you, for listening to us.
Thank you.
Most welcome.